Hiya, how you doing? Happy Monday Moon Day and happy start to Sagittarius season. Happy birthday to all of my Sag subscribers. I hope you have a fantastic season, although it's slightly different to previous ones, but I hope you have a lovely, lovely birthday nonetheless. And also today, as I record this Monday 23rd of November 2020, we have the moon in Pisces as well. So it's a super duper Jupiter sort of day, and the moon right now is exactly trine Mercury, which is over in Scorpio, and so it's a perfect day for intuition. Do a bit of tarot today, do a bit of going out and about and like reading the signs, and like it's like super duper receptivity right now on this day. And it's a lot of magic. It is a lot of magic. It's a lot of belief, a lot of spirit, a lot of inspiration. So yeah, this video though is going to be on the full moon in Gemini. And the official date of this full moon, so basically welcome back to my Moon Watch series. This is another Moon Watch episode, right? But the full moon officially is on November 30th, 2020. And let's just first of all extremely briefly talk about what a full moon is, if we don't know. So full moons are moments of culmination. They are moments of intensity. That could be like intense emotion usually, but also some other things, but usually intense emotion. And also they are moments of letting go, like very significant moments of letting go. That could be letting someone go, letting something go, letting some situation go, like just letting it be. It could be letting yourself go. The full moon is often associated with like mania, for example, so it could also be letting yourself go, letting yourself loose. And what about Gemini then? I also, by the way, want to kind of caveat this Moonwatch episode with the fact that although the date of the full moon is November 30th, full moons, you might feel the energy, you might have some of these things happening to you as early as 2 weeks before the date and as late as 2 weeks after. And we do have an eclipse as well. And so it could even be, it's often said 6 months after this theme of this full moon in Gemini continues for up to like 6 months. So there's that. It's not going to just like necessarily click and happen on November 30th for everyone. But what about Gemini then? So what is Gemini? Again, extremely briefly, because we could talk for like 3-4 hours just about Gemini, right? But Gemini is the mutable air sign of the zodiac, and that is like duality. And I often on my channel have described Gemini as not just being like two-faced, but having like a whole entire village inside of them. A whole village is inside them, Geminis, it really is. And that allows them to relate to and be able to conversate with pretty much anyone, and to also like mentally connect with pretty much anyone they come across. And that is a huge part of the Gemini magic. And Gemini is also about all that is curious and kind of tricky and sort of like, but what about that? What about this? Yeah, curious, tricky sort of energy that always keeps things spicy and mentally stimulating and interesting. And I want to say then, first of all, let's talk about Gemini suns and Gemini risings. I think this full moon is going to affect you people the most intensely. It's going to be the most meaningful, the most significant for Gemini suns and risings, but also anyone else who has anything at 8 degrees of the other mutable signs. So that's Pisces, Sagittarius and Virgo, especially if you have anything natally in your chart 8 degrees of Sagittarius. Please, 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 please leave me a comment if you have anything 8 degrees Sagittarius in your birth chart. I want to hear how you are experiencing this full moon, if you're already experiencing it, and also maybe after the fact, 2 weeks plus after the fact. Tell me what has been going on for you, what's gone on for you with a natal placement exactly 8 degrees Sagittarius, because this full moon is 8 degrees Gemini, opposing exactly the sun over in Sagittarius at 8 degrees as well. And so I really feel like for those people especially, it's going to be very, very, very significant. And also what I wanted to talk about is if you are an actual twin, because Gemini is the twins, right? If you're an actual twin, I feel like it might be also really significant for you. So if you're a twin, let me know in the comments what you think. By the way, my name is Hinny. If you're new to the channel, you can look at the details below in the description if you'd like a reading with me. And if you're a Sagittarius sun, all Sagittarius season, I do offer 20% off my services, all of my services. You can head on over to hinnyhigh.com and find out the details, and you can get 20% off if you book with me at any time during Sagittarius season. Or maybe you have a Sagittarius sun, friend, relative, partner, and you'd love to get them a little treat, birthday present. You can book as well with me. I'm pretty free late December. My early December is quite busy, but late December you might like to get a gift for yourself or someone else. Also, please like and subscribe to this video if you resonate with it, if you like what I do. And I also want to mention, by the way, if you're interested in Gemini, if you're interested in Mercury, Virgo type stuff, or just astrology in general, and tarot and spirituality in general, I am collaborating with Inspiring Alien Creations here on YouTube, or Alien Creations here on YouTube. Me and him, we've already filmed episode 0 of our collaboration project, which is Mercurial Mystics. So we have created a new channel, Mercurial Mystics, and you can go on over if you are interested. If you want to support both of us, you can go on over there right now and subscribe to that channel, and you can also watch episode 0, which is just like an introductory little chat that we have. But anyway, all of that out of the way. Let's talk about the collective then more generally. So how this full moon is going to kind of affect, I feel, all of us in some way or other. So I've got like 9 things mainly. And of course, this is like very general. Okay, my take, this Moonwatch project journey that I'm on is always very general and intuitive. You might not relate super duper specifically. Always look at your birth chart as well, I want to say, to see exactly where this full moon falls for you as an individual, because that's going to give you so much more information. So which house is it in for you, and is it touching any of your natal planets? Because often full moons might not affect you that much, because maybe you just don't have anything going on. But I feel like it will, even if you have nothing in Gemini and you have nothing in Sagittarius natally. I still feel like this one, because it's a really, really profound eclipse, is going to affect you at least to some degree. Anywho, this full moon in Gemini is going to bring the collective, I feel, mental realizations. The mental coming from Gemini as the air sign. And also because it's a moon, because the moon is very receptive, and actually the most quick in terms of reception. But like mental realizations coming from the full moon aspect, because the full moon does allow a lot of us to have this usually emotional, but like this realization moment. So you could be really realizing something, and also figuring it out is something that I have down. So figuring it out, whatever that means, because Gemini is super duper clever. It is the trickster of the zodiac, it is the teenager of the zodiac, it is the clever, cunning fox archetype. And so you might also be figuring something out that is very significant for you around this time. Mercury, I also wanted to talk about on the exact day and time of this new moon, is going to be 27 degrees in Scorpio, and of course Mercury rules Gemini. And so I feel like it's important to talk about Mercury as well, because Mercury is going to be still in Scorpio, but entering what I call the boiling points. That's the 27 degrees to the 29th degree, that really intense period of a transit. It's starting the boiling point, and it's in Scorpio. You can check out my video as part of my Hohe Hermes series, where I talk actually about in much more detail Mercury going through Scorpio. So if you want more details, check that out. But really super briefly, this is like truth and secrets coming out with Mercury being in Scorpio at this time, and it could be big time for some people. And it could be good, bad, or ugly, right? But the truth, the secrets come out. And I know I've been saying this a lot, and a lot of astrologers have been talking about truth and secrets, but that's because, we've just finished up with Scorpio season, and we're also just starting Sagittarius season. And if Scorpio is about secrets and realizing internally a lot of secrets and truths, Sag season is about when they come out, or when you propagate these secrets and truths, or when you get more confident and venturing with them, and you start sort of traveling literally or spiritually around and discussing these truths, debating these truths, and they're just much more in the air and expressed in the fire season of Sagittarius. So truth, of course, is going to remain a huge theme for the next month ahead, at least. The next thing I wanted to talk about is outbursts, because the full moon does deal with outbursts and releases, but concerning where you sort of speak the truth. So you might find yourself suddenly exploding in some way. That could be at someone or at a group, or just at yourself, where you explode with this outburst of truth, speaking the truth, telling the truth. The sun's in Sagittarius, remember, exactly opposing the moon, and the sun is illumination, and Sagittarius is all about truth telling and the right way. And so you're going to get a lot of that around you, at least if it's not you. Also, this full moon is going to bring us intense thinking or intense communication in other languages. And that could be like literally other languages, like French, Mandarin, whatever, right? Or other codes. So like literally you start communicating, thinking in another code than usual. Or it could be spiritually speaking, you start to intensely think in some other way. And also, interestingly, perhaps, is that bilingual people, if you are an actual bilingual person, then you might especially feel that this is a significant full moon, because Gemini is about twins, dualities, pairs, all that jazz, but it's also about the bilingual in many ways. A lot of Gemini people that I've worked with, they are bilingual in some sense. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is that you might, on this full moon in Gemini, react with a whole other side of you. And it might be a side that you never ever knew, but a whole other side is quite likely to come out in some sense. And again, it could well be connected to communication. But especially those of you who've been trying to like suppress some other side of yourself, it could easily come out around this full moon in Gemini. Because Gemini is also about the light and the dark, the light and the shade, and the sort of conceit of everything and of life. And that might be creeping up on you around about now to sort of stir things up a bit. Also, with the full moon in Gemini, there could be big taking responsibility for your mental health, because the moon is also about responsibility and how we take responsibility for things, including ourselves. And Gemini, of course, is a mental sign. It is, I mean that in terms of the mind, not that it's crazy, but in terms of the mind. And Gemini is an air sign, and it's a mutable, changeable air sign. So you could feel that this is a great time for you, or this is the time that's occurring for you to tend to take responsibility for your mental health, self-care. The moon is about caring as well, right? Also, letting go of things like lies or liars in your life, whether that's you lying, other people lying, like letting go of that around this full moon. And tricksters as well. Anyone playing games with you, and you kind of know, you're already sussing it out, the fox or the cat, but especially the fox sort of archetype, Mercury, the trickster, kind of susses these things out. So letting tricksters, tricky people, situations just go as well. Also, you might find that you are deeply emotional and deeply reflective, of course, but in the realms of one-on-one conversations, because Gemini is super, super, super profoundly magical when we have this one-on-one interaction. And so you might find that you meet with someone, you have a chat with someone, and you're getting like deeply emotional or deeply reflective somehow. And finally, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about with this full moon in Gemini is that you might find that there's some huge opposition for you. Not opposition, sorry, I didn't mean that. Huge opportunity for freedom. Alrighty, because this is actually about freedom for a lot of us, because Gemini and Sagittarius, this axis, they love freedom. So freedom of the mind, freedom to move around, freedom to believe, freedom to preach, freedom to gallivant, freedom to hit out with your truth. So I feel like there could be a huge opportunity for you to seize upon this freedom. And that can also be like mental freedom, physical freedom, and spiritual freedom. The mental and physical, especially sort of the Gemini side of it, and the Sagittarius, which could also be kind of physical, but the Sagittarius side of it, mainly spiritual, expressive, creative side or versions of freedom. Alrighty, so I was thinking to do a little tarot, do a bit of tarot for each of the signs. Just quick, short messages for each of you. And this could be for the sun, for the rising. Let us sit back a little bit. The sun or the rising, or the moon, or anyone who has like lots of planets or prominence, or they're heavy in the particular sign. What you gravitate towards, right? What you resonate with. Alrighty. So, I've called in spirit. This deck is also pre-shuffled. So let's see. Let's start with Sagittarius, because it's Sag season, it's your birthday season, it's your solar return. By the way, if you'd like a solar return reading with me to kind of look at your year thus far and your Sagittarius, it's a great idea to take advantage of the 20% off. Because, you know, solar return or any return report or reading, you want a good hour or maybe even 2 hours, and so you want to maybe take advantage of the discount. And still get like 1 or 2 hours out of me. So for Sagittarius, please, Universe Spirit, one sign, one card. We're trying to aim for one card, not half the deck. Okay. Just one card, one sign, please, for this Gemini full moon and our sages of the zodiac, the teachers of the zodiac, the horsies, the hinnies of the zodiac. Okay, we got 2 cards coming out. But I'm just going to take the first one, okay, which is the 8 of Swords for you, Sagittarius. So look at that. We do have some orange here. We do have the fire coming through. Your colors do come through, but it's swords, it's mind. So I do feel like I've said before, you are going to especially if you have something 8 degrees, Sagittarius, Mary above, you are going to be affected. Please, I'm almost forcing you to let me know in the comments or email me privately. Let me know how this affects you, but please let me know. And yeah, it's swords, this card, and it's the 8. I just talked about 8 degrees as well. The full moon is on the 8th degree, and you're coming out of Scorpio season, right? The sun has just left Scorpio, the 8th zodiacal sign. So very big signs coming out for you from the universe, from Spirit Sag, to just look at this image, appreciate what's going on, and how I talked about this kind of in the Mars Direct video that I made, if you're interested in what that meant, Mars going direct and what it's going to mean for the rest of 2020 into 2021, the sort of rest of the rat year. Check that video out, because I do talk about how we are, oh my gosh, especially once Neptune goes direct as well, we really are drinking that coffee now. Mars, but also you guys as well, because you are a fire sign. You are really just taking a lot of time, and I want with this 8 of Swords for you to consider that, to take a lot of time with your passions, your beliefs, anything pent up that you might really feel a burning desire to say, to express, to communicate, please give yourself more time, Sag. And know that, like this in this card, there's still a lot surrounding you, Sag. There's still a lot of different opinions that are pressing up against you, like you see here, and there's still a lot of time and space that you need before, like this butterfly, you can spread those wings, unfurl, and be free in that bright blue Sagittarius sky, that high and mighty and powerful, divinely blessed sky. And it might, for some of you, you might not be able to unfurl until after your season. That's extremely likely in this year of 2020. So don't be disheartened by that. It's just, I feel that you need much more time to get out of this particular Eight of Swords space. You know, your thoughts, your conversations, your mental health might need much more time, Sag, and that's fine. That's just the overarching energies of the year. Alrighty, okay, lots of cards falling out. And again, I'm only picking the first one, so that's the Two of Swords, and we're moving on then with the Two of Swords to Capricorn. So if you're Capricorn, rising sun, and so on, then the Two of Swords is asking you to focus your mind. Capricorn. And I've been feeling this from Capricorn heavy people recently, but to almost like a guru, I'm getting that, like a guru, please, like, focus what you're going to say before you say it. Calm your mind, Capricorn, and try to channel as much as possible of the agree to disagree energy. I feel like you are already, but channeling the agree to disagree energy, and also waiting, in your mind, waiting for your season, which is coming, right? In about a month's time, it's coming. And then Jupiter and Saturn will have left Aquarius, and you'll be much more, I just feel like you'll be much calmer, hopefully, much calmer, Capricorn, when those two planets hit Aquarius and they're out of your sign, and there's much less of loads going on for you. So I feel like you're being asked by the universe, by spirit, to calm Capricorn, what you say, what you think, and in your relationships as well. Just like, we're just going to agree to disagree, and even just this image of like being a guru in meditation and just shutting your eyes. With the Two of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck, for example, we have the image of the blindfolded person holding two swords across their chest. That could be you as well, something for you to just close your eyes this month. Close your eyes more, breathe, focus on that mental balance. Okay, Aquarius, okay, this is coming out in the deck for you. Major Arcana card, big sign for you, Aquarius. It's the Emperor in reverse. Yeah, upside down tree sort of image. Slow direction I'm getting for you as well. Slow direction, Aquarius. A lot of you Aquarians, Aquarius risings, you feel the approach of your life path ruler, especially if this is an Aquarius rising watching. Your life path ruler is about to hit Aquarius, but Aquarians in general, you can feel it. You can feel it coming. Saturn coming to bless you with the sort of karmic return and the time return. So maybe some of you are not ready with the Emperor in reverse. You're not ready for this. You are still maybe getting things together, getting strategies together. I feel like a lot of you still have some emotional reflections to do. A lot of you still need to go walking around the city or wherever you live. Walk around a bit more, process things a bit more. Kind of similar to Capricorn's message, meditation, but for you it's like trying to get in tune with meditation and walking around so as to get more of a grip, so as to actually get more square eventually. and not to lose anything more, Aquarius, not to focus anymore on your losses, but to, as best as you can, to consider losses as, in some cases it's a blessing in disguise, your losses. In other cases it's something that your spirit is having to learn from, and maybe your body, your physicality was not ready for it, but spiritually it is going to be a profound experience for you, Aquarius, where you do get square again, where you do get more in control, where you do lead the way more when it comes to throwing yourself out there again, putting yourself back out there again, or just feeling on top of things again. So that's my little message for you, Aquarius. Yeah, it's not going to be easy for most of us this period, just like late 2019 and 2020. But let's move on then to Pisces. And Pisceans, you're also going to be most likely very affected by this full moon because you're a mutable sign. So check if you have anything 8 degrees Pisces especially. And I want to hear in the comments what you have to say about this full moon. But okay, Spirit Universe, one message, one card please for Pisces. One message, one card for Pisces. This, by the way, is Kim Kranz's The Wild Unknown deck. Okay. It's falling out horizontal, this one, Pisces. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Pisces. You're channeling that Virgo energy, aren't you? And it's very divine. You're going through something very divine right now, Pisces. It's horizontal. Things are very much in the balance. And the 7 of Pentacles is a card about getting the ducks in a row. And the moon right now, today, on November 23rd, is in Pisces, in your sign. So maybe today as well, you are like yesterday / today. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit of tomorrow, the 24th, you are super intuitive, super reflective, super poetic, and also super duper more inspired, because Sagittarius season has just begun, and that is your sort of sister, Sagittarius, your Jupiter sister from another mister, most likely with Jupiter from another mister, but it is horizontal. And it is Earth, it's Pentacles. So I see you striking, you're not striking a balance, you're hanging in the balance, Pisces, right now. Maybe you are waiting to decide on certain things, or before you speak, or before you move, before you act, before you invest in some cases. But you're channeling that Virgo energy because you are on the same axis as Virgo. You and Virgo are two sides of the same coin. And so for you, Pisceans, I feel like you are much less throwing caution to the wind and much more getting serious about things. But that could be anything. That could be yourself and your body, your own spirit. It could be your family, your friends, your relationships, your love. It could be your job, anything. But you're getting much more serious about it, and you can feel this pivoting point coming, Pisces. And I feel like you're very optimistic about it. But again, some of you haven't quite like moved yet, or you don't feel like you are set yet or ready to really start that sort of 8 of Pentacles, which is the wait and work pattern that you get into. So you are still, I feel like you're just still sifting something through, getting your pay, your salary in order, getting your house in order. Maybe you've moved recently and you're sorting things out. That kind of thing is still like, there's still sifting, and so this is why I think it's coming out horizontal. Okay, Aries. A message, please, Spirit Universe, for Aries. Again, this could be Aries rising, Aries sun, moon. You Aries heavy people. For this Gemini full moon and beyond, definitely beyond, because this eclipse is, wow, it is said to last up to 6 months. Yeah. So, Aries. Beautiful Aries. If you're an Aries rising, hello. I haven't heard from you in a while, Aries risings. What's up? Where are you? Aries rising. One card, one sign. Okay, one card I think fell. And it is the 8 of Cups, and it's the right way up. 8 of Cups there for you, Aries. Okay, Aries. Let's talk about Mars retrograde, which is your ruling planet. Yeah, if you're an Aries rising especially, Mars is even more important for you. And so therefore this message might be even more important for you. But all those months that Mars was retrograde, you have been maybe in a very, how shall I call it? Regretful or bitter, for some of you, regretful or bitter sort of state. Or at least just like agitated, typical Mars retrograde energies of agitation, frustration, not being able to assert yourself even, or get something off the ground, get something rolling. And maybe some of you had a lot of trouble letting that frustration, those feelings, anger even, go. But now we have the 8 of Cups upright. So I see you, especially with the Sun entering another fellow fire sign, Sagittarius, you're about to get much more motivation, inspiration, but it's very slow because we are still in this particular 2020. We still have 2 planets, Mercury and Venus, in Scorpio, and we have a full moon. So it's still very watery, it's still quite emotional, but I'm feeling like you're getting more upright now, especially with Mars having gone direct as well. But again, check out my Mars Direct video, please, if you're interested, for more details on that, Aries. But I just feel like things are looking on the up and up for you, but it is going to be very slow. And quite likely you're still sifting through emotional things. And with the 8 of Cups here, it's like you're already sort of getting ready to sweep up this mess, these cups, the shards. You're already sort of getting ready. Maybe you've even started to do this sweeping or walking away, because the 8 of Cups can be about walking away from these emotional things. Finally getting over certain things and people as well. That could be something relevant. So yeah, that's for you, Aries. Let's talk about Taurus then. So Universe Spirit, one sign, one card please for Taurus. Okay. Beautiful Taurians, who of course have Uranus retrograding in their sign, and Uranus of course is going to be there for a long time. I think like 6 years still it's going to be there, so that's very important for you, Taurus. So if you're into your astrology, keep track for the next 5 years, 6 years of Uranus. Get more readings, learn about your birth chart. Taurus. One sign, one card for Taurus, please, Universe Spirit. One sign, one card. Okay, this one wanted to come out. Okay. Wow. 2 of Cups coming out for you, Taurus. 2 of Cups. So this full moon, I'm seeing, or I'm feeling for some of you, that this is the really nice, let's get together and have a cup of coffee card. This is the romantic, let's chat over a drink card. Let's have a chin wag over a cuppa type of card. But we do have roses here, and roses have thorns, and we do have cups here, and that does relate to the moon, this full moon. And we even have duality here, the full moon in Gemini. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you are going to have a specific conversation with someone about 2 of Cups type things. So it could be romance, but it doesn't have to be romance, but it could be like your relationship with that person. It could be business, family, friend, whatever. Or if it's not a specific relationship, it's like your relationships more generally. You are trying to get more into the space of, can we just have a nice, comfortable conversation, that kind of thing. And but again, with the roses here, for some of you, it is like also in some sense, like a, what do I want to say, like tying things up, or like it could be one last drink for some of you, or one last drink for old time's sake. That kind of thing as well could be happening, because the full moon does deal with letting go. So it could be like a really bittersweet thing for some of you Taurians, where there is this big release and freedom for you, which also involves someone or different people that you have some romantic or very sentimental connection to. So just keep that in mind. It is not reversed though, this card, so I feel like it's something that is meant to happen. It's fated, and in the long term it's gonna be fine for you. Okay, let's talk about Gemini, of course. One card, one sign please for Gemini on this Gemini full moon. One card, one sign please. This could be Gemini risings, suns, moons. Okay, this card really wants to come out. You see it? Wow. Another 8 coming out. That speaks to the 8th degree that this full moon occurs on. Brilliant. You can see also that this card, the 8 of Wands, is quite easily associated with something sudden. You've got that lightning bolt. And often this is, in this official deck, I believe the interpretation is sudden messages coming in. But what I'm getting for you with this 8 of Wands, what I'm feeling for you, Gemini, is that for some of you, it's something about Scorpio season, the 8 Scorpio season, that you're finally getting this lightning strike for or about, if this makes any sense. You're finally getting 8 of Wands. You're finally getting like some okay, let's go type of thing for you, Gemini. And that's why I mentioned at the very beginning that you know, for good, bad or ugly, full moons can be just moments of emotional intensity, but that intensity doesn't have to be negative. It can be almost elation. So for some of you Geminis, I get that there's this kind of like, okay, as you get into Sagittarius season, off the back of Scorpio season, which I'm sure was a trip for you, but Mercury is still in Scorpio as well. That's what we can talk about. Yes, oh my god, of course, Mercury in Scorpio. 8 of Wands, Mercury in Scorpio. There's some sense of like, finally, some emotional bond is not only made, but I'm feeling the fire of that emotional bond. That's what I'm getting for some of you. Like, finally, there's this like Sagittarian sort of, the gun is being fired and the race, all the races are off, and you're one of those races and you're feeling like you're off. But for others, this could just be more general, that a certain message is coming in, that in this one's fiery sense, can make some of you obsess a little bit, can make some of you react in that typical full moon way. It might be even a stubborn reaction to this message or communication. But I don't know, I just feel like for others, or maybe most of you, this is different. It's like a, finally, like a horse jumping into the race type of feeling for you. And it might, because this is the 8, and because we've all gone through Scorpio season, but Mercury, your planet, is still in Scorpio. It might have to do also with a bond that you have been making with someone. This could be like a love thing or other connection, but it's very passionate and it's very fixed. Or if you haven't been making that bond yet, that might be what the lightning is. Like, someone finally comes in and you're able to start to fuse and bond with them. I don't know, that's just what I'm getting for you, Gemini. Okay, Cancer. One card, one sign for our lovely Cancers. I'm a Cancer rising, I'm a Cancer moon, Chiron in Cancer. Whoa, okay. well, you've got a watery card. You're a water sign. You've got a watery card coming out for you as well as your sign. Where do I want to go? Cancer, crab. Where do I want to go? Okay, Father of Cups. Big, big, big Scorpio card. Big, big, big. It's water, right? So it's cups. So big, big, big emotional card. But this is truth. Speaking your truth. This is the cold hard truth sometimes. Cancer. So this full moon, obviously you're a Cancer, so the full moon or whatever the moon is doing is always important for you. If you're a Cancer rising especially, it's your life path ruler. However, you have to be like on it with the moon all the time. Every 3-4 days you need to be checking in with the moon. But for Cancers more generally, watching, this full moon is definitely about some revelation of truth, whether that's you speaking the truth, finally, because I know a lot of you do this sideways thing, this dance, this side eye, I'm not going to look you right in the eye kind of thing. So there's some big revelation coming. It has come maybe already inside you, and now it's coming out. Check out my Venus and Scorpio video where I talk about how this is going to help a lot of the speaking of truth and flowing of truth. You might be interested in that. For others of you, because this is like full moon in Gemini, for others of you Cancer, this is like what do I want to say? This is like you are being told the truth. You are the receiver of secrets, and it can kind of undo you or make you a little bit manic. So keep that in mind as well. Prepare for that and be strong. The Father of Cups. But I feel like if that's the case for you, with the Father of Cups, you probably already know. You've probably already been intuiting this, or you're about to. So there's some sense of you're freezing up and preparing for that truth or that revelation, whatever it is, that secret. So do keep that in mind as well. I feel like that could be you as well. Leo. Let's get a sign. One card, please, Universe Spirit, for Leo. Leo risings, Leo moons, Leo heavy hinsters. If you're not a hinster already, by the way, please subscribe. If you like what I do, I think it helps with the algorithms. Okay, we've got 2 cards, but again, I'm just taking the first one, which is, you can see, the 7 of Swords. And what do we have here in this particular card? We've got a fox, which sort of looks like a cat. You might say the fox and the cat, sort of archetypes, spirits. They're not exactly the same, but they share a lot of similarities. And you have the 7 as well, and it's swords. And this is also a Gemini card, a very Gemini card. So what I'm getting for you, Leos, is this Gemini moon might be really important for you, similar to Cancer actually, and their message. Like maybe there's some revelation of a secret, or revelation of something sneaky, because this card can deal with the sneaky and the cunning energies. So maybe you're getting you're sussing someone out, or you are being sussed out, because the full moon can be about you as well. And again, for good, bad, or ugly. So maybe you are being sussed out as well, but it is upright. So karmically, things are being recalibrated, whichever way it's going. Universally, you are going in the right direction. This can also speak just generally to Mercury, which is in Scorpio right now. So maybe you are especially going to be communicating your truths more, Leo, and especially with your ruling planet, especially for Leo risings. The sun is in Sagittarius, and so maybe you are communicating more of your truths in a very confident way. Just keep in mind though that this particular Sag season of 2020 might serve to undo a lot of people if they take on that Sag bravado and like cockiness. It's really not the season, really not the year for that side of Sag. It's much more about being wise and making like fox or cat type moves, so much more reticent, much more one eye on or one eye open, one eye closed, and much more like that type of stuff than like meow scratching someone. And also beware of scratching someone without knowing the full story, the full truth, please, because Sag season is also about jumping the gun, and you definitely don't want to do that in 2020. Alrighty, Virgo, suns, risings, moons. One card, one sign, please, universe and spirit, for Virgo. This video is gonna getting on an hour. We're gonna get there. Okay, I'm a Virgo Sun, Virgo Mercury, Virgo Venus, Virgo series, whole stellium going on there. Woo, okay, this card wanted to bend and snap and run away. Okay. Oh, okay, Virgo, Sun of Cups, a water card coming out for you, an earth sign. And this is, I often read this as the Cancer card, especially like a Cancer rising card. Oh my gosh, maybe you're like me, Cancer rising and Virgo, or you have that sort of big heaviness in your chart. But I'm basically reading this as follow your intuition, okay? Lead with how you're feeling in the situation, especially because this full moon is going to be in your sister sign, Gemini, right? So if data, information, secrets is coming in, all that jazz, all that fun Gemini full moon jazz is coming in, follow what feels right, Virgo. Just follow what feels right, and don't be afraid to confront yourself and or confront others or confront the situation. It's kind of let yourself go full speed ahead with the gut instinct that you have, and pay attention to the information and the conversations. Okay, so let's go to Libra. Libra rising, suns. Anyone Libra heavy who finds this reading, please, universe, spirit, one card, one sign for Libra. And Venus, of course, your ruling planet, is now in Scorpio. So you may be very interested, Libra, in checking out my video on Venus. Okay, two cards wanted to sort of flip out. You can see there, as I was talking also about Venus going into Scorpio. And you maybe now I really want to recommend that you check out my video or someone else's video on Venus in Scorpio, or read about it, because your ruling planet is going where it is said to fall. That's not necessarily bad or ugly, okay, just to make that clear, but it's said to fall in Scorpio, or really not like to be in Scorpio. And you get this card, Libra, as your sign for this full moon, which is the 9 of Swords. And swords is like your element, it's your suit, if you like, in the tarot, air. And what I'm just getting now is that your ruling planet, yes, is going through Scorpio, and then we'll eventually get into Sagittarius, but we are already now in Sagittarius season officially. And we have a 9 here. This is the number of Sagittarius or Jupiter. It's also the number of things like higher learning, luck, blessings. And look at this card. Look at the imagery, Libra. But I want you to focus on the eyes and the intensity that you see in those eyes. And I feel like, for a lot of you, you are in this full moon in Gemini. You're going to have to put something down, or step back or step to the side a little bit, Libra, around this full moon in some way, and allow for some sort of shake-up mentally, or some sort of shake-up in your relationships. Otherwise it's going to continue to keep you like awake, stressed, instead of helping you learn something from the cause, from the reason why you have to step aside or step back or allow some sort of shake-up. So you'll know what this is talking about, Libra, but there's some big learning that you're having to do right now, or you're about to. Possibly it's more potent when Venus does actually hit Sagittarius, or gets closer in a couple of weeks' time. So it might not be something you resonate with right now. But the card is upright. Okay, it is upright, the Nine of Swords. And so it's not like the typical, oh my God, you're going through sleepless nights. Like maybe you are, but it's not supposed to be about that, but about you mentally realizing something around this full moon and channeling. Often when a full moon is in one of your fellow elemental signs, so in your case, your full moon experience is in Gemini, right? Fellow air sign. Often in that case, you're invited by the universe, by the moon, to learn lessons from Gemini and basically mix things up a bit in your relationships, or in your mental state, or in your thought processes, to mix things up and to not always try to do the Libra air thing, which is always leading with how you feel in the mind, leading with how you think, or leading with your relationships. Maybe you're asked actually to detach a little bit, like Gemini often does, to detach a little bit and flake. Let yourself flake a little bit, especially if you're stressed with sleepless nights and all that Nine of Swords jazz. Maybe let yourself flake, and especially with Venus and Scorpio, let yourself say no a bit more often to those invitations that are coming in that you know you don't want to accept, but you feel like you have to. Just say no. Obviously do it nicely. You don't have to be a you know what, but anyway, the necessary I can't. That's what I'm getting for you, Libra. Okay, Scorpio, last sign of this reading before we finish. Just under an hour. One card, one sign from Universe Spirit for Scorpio. Scorpio rising, Scorpio suns, Scorpio moons, anyone Scorpionic. As we've finished, right, Scorpio season, but the Venus and Mercury transits are ongoing in your sign, Scorpio. Let's see what we get for you. Let's see what we get for you, my love Scorpio. Okay, so 3 cards fell on the floor, and the one on top of those 3 is horizontal, so I'm going to get that one for you. One sec. Yeah, it's this one. It's the 10 of Pentacles, Scorpio. And it's horizontal. Very similar if you've been watching all of these signs. I don't know, maybe why would you? But maybe if you've been watching all the signs, you would see Pisces had a horizontal card as well. So maybe there's something with you in a Pisces, or a Piscean. That's just something we could say. But it's more importantly horizontal. Something... This is like your Björk moment right now. Did you know Björk? I always mention her on my channel because I love her, but she's so Scorpionic. But Björk is also, I believe, like a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp rising. So I think she's like 29 degrees or something really late Scorpio rising. So her worldview, of course, is very close to Sagittarius, getting on into the Sagittarian side of things. And what do you have? You have the colors, the bonfire type colors, the rainbow colors. There's that lyric in her song, One Day, Björk's song. You might like, maybe some of you need to go and listen to that song today. It's called One Day. It's an absolutely beautiful song. Those who like lyrics and poetry, today's a great day, by the way, to read poetry, listen to songs and their lyrics, because the moon's in Pisces right now. But maybe some of you need to read the lyrics as well as you listen to One Day, and because there's some really, really beautifully vivid images that she conjures up for us, but that are also to do with that transition from Scorpio into Sag, that are also to do with that coming out of the well and into the bright blue sky again, like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. very often I use the butterfly for Sagittarius. These sort of Phoenician images, tropes, they really come out in this song, not just this song, but a few of her others. But it's not one of her darker, if you like, sort of songs. It's very like multicolored like this. But yeah, there's this lyric in that song which goes, and the beautifulest fireworks are burning in the sky just for you. I can feel it. I can feel it just for you. So maybe some of you are in this, like, you can, again with like Pisces and their card earlier, it's like something pivotal. You can feel something pivotal about to happen around this full moon, and it's 10 of Pentacles in flavor, so that can really have to do with, I call this the full arsenal card. So finally feeling on top, materially, practically, logically, realistically, like starting to feel on top in those sorts of sense, but also coupled with this Scorpio Sag cuspy sort of coming out of the well into rainbow light, coming out of the well into bright blue skies type of realization energy or experience. Could be like trance-like for some of you. And this can even speak to like money. Finally, loads of money comes in, some big bounty. I also know that some of you are supporting other people with this type of energy. You're encouraging other people. You know what the collective has been through this Scorpio season, because you're a Scorpio, so you know how to assist your friends, family, partner, whoever, your audience. If you're some sort of coach or anything like that, you know more than anyone really how to relate emotionally. But I feel like you're not just relating emotionally to your audience or your people or your person, but you're doing it in a very practical sense type of way, or you're about to, and you're about to get a rush of karmic credit for that, benefit for that. So that's very exciting. It might not be happening now because this is a horizontal pivotal thing. Just watch out though, Scorpio, for like cockiness. That can happen, and that can turn the 10 of Pentacles into the reverse, where it's kind of like you have a full arsenal. Like imagine you're a queen of some country, land, queendom, and you have a full arsenal, but because of that full arsenal, you got so comfortable and confident that you never like checked on the politics of the region and someone came in and invaded you, or you were looted by your people. Something like that happens because of this contemplation with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So we want to make sure it kind of goes this way, where you do get the full bounty and the full massive universal sort of karmic big dividends, fireworks. Those fireworks come in, and fireworks usually in the practical senses with Pentacles, some money, or esoterically just feeling like a huge positive foundation finally is under your feet, or you're able finally to walk on something that is like solid and you feel really great about it. So thank you for everyone who watched even through to these tarot readings. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what your take is on your particular tarot card, and also what your take is on this full moon in Gemini. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, have a nice start to your week, and happy Monday Moon Day. I love you very, very much. Take care. Bye bye.